Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Last time on JoJo we had White Ice, where Giorno and Mista were facing, well, White Ice, and whatever the user's name was. I don't remember. But yeah, so they were fighting him. It was pretty intense. Mista was trying to get some bullets through in order to kill him, but the ice was proving to be a very, very strong block, basically. But eventually, Mista just kept shooting and shooting and shooting until he did start to break through, and then Giorno came in and finished him off and killed the guy. And then Giorno went about fixing up Mista's body, as he had been shot pretty much a lot by the bullets being ricocheted back into him. So yeah. And yeah, that leaves only one member of the Hitman team left, and we also got a quick glimpse of the boss once again, and he sort of disappeared into thin air, so I don't know what that's about. I don't know, maybe it's a stand. So, I don't know. Anywho. But yeah, that was pretty much it. So, like always, the reaction is down in the description and in the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. So let's go ahead and jump right into this episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Here we go. Well, alright, let's all get it out of the way. I know it's supposed to be King Crimson. Let's all just face the facts. I already know that it's King Crimson. However, while I don't know what it does, all I've heard is that it's ungodly confusing, and I'm already confused, so... But hey, it's another time stand. Wow. How original. It's another fucking time stand. I think. I'm not sure. I think. Okay, so he saw... Hold on. He saw a future version of himself. It was a future version of Bucharati, and that's what he hit, except that it didn't seem to do any damage to him. The damage came in from King Crimson hitting him, through the chest, which I guess, in fairness, Giorno may be able to... I mean, you get a decent enough rock, he can transform it into the, vital organs that Bucharati needs, so there's something at least. But this whole future self thing... I mean, it's a time stand. It's another friggin' time stand. After the world and Killer Queen bites the dust, we now have King Crimson, or Emperor Crimson. I'm gonna be saying King Crimson because I already knew it was gonna be King Crimson, and King Crimson rolls off the tongue a lot better than, because Deadly Queen works, but Emperor Crimson doesn't really roll off the tongue like King Crimson does. So I'm just gonna be saying King Crimson. Boy, it's crazy that. It's crazy that that this guy just happens to have... Well, but I guess Kira just happened to get a time stand, Dio, I understand. Dio is... He's Dio. To him, you are like the buzzing of flies. So I understand, okay, Dio, who was also a vampire and had the body of Jonathan Joestar... Thus, his stand, the world, is ridiculously powerful, And then you add on top of that Star Platinum being very similar, the blood of the Joestars, via Jotaro. So I get that. Killer Queen Bites the Dust was kind of weird. And yeah, it just so happened that Kira got hit again with the arrow, thus giving him a third ability on top of the 2 he already have. He gave him a third one that was also a time ability. And now this guy, who we don't know, I mean, we still haven't even seen the man's face, but he's got a time ability too. Somehow? So is he using... Because the way he took Trish and the way he disappeared at the end of last episode, it really seems like Dio's power, you know? The world stops time and, you know, the people they don't notice it. But this is different. Because if it was just stopping time, there would be no reason to leave Trish's left hand, you know? There would be, and it doesn't even make sense how there would be a future version of Bucharati. It basically, it's like how can I put this? Like, it would be like if I had, you know, if I was here, and then I look over and I see myself sitting next to me, and then, but it's like, is it like traveling into the future? Because then this version of me that sees the future version of me, did he disappear? He kind of like disappeared as if I am now, like, time has caught up and I am over here? Is that how it works? I don't know how that works. You know, when we watched Stardust Crusaders in whatever minutes from Team 4-Star, they did make a joke about that. That is like, oh, I'm the only villain with a time stand. And it was like, no. And I already knew Kira, you know, had Bites the Dust by then. And it's like, well, mine is at least the least complicated time stand. And they were like, yeah, that's about right. And it's like, yep. Yeah, I get that. I get that now. Because, what? How? Man, I've already been confused. I've been so confused throughout this entire part of, like, how some of these stands work. And now it's just... I don't even know what to think. Like, what? Why did it have to be a time stand, though? Like, here's a genuine, honest question. And I don't know if I can really ask this, because I guess technically it's spoilery, but is there a villain that doesn't have a time stand? You know, aside from Part 1 Dio and Cars? Like, you didn't need to do that. You could have just had some crazy strong stand. You don't need to have... This is now the third main villain stand that is a time stand. We're 3 for 3 in villain time stands. And it's also interesting, too, because, like, this is... I mean, I guess not it. Maybe the boss he's gonna, you know, run away. He's gonna go, and then the team is gonna have to go help Bucharati, you know? Makes you wonder. I mean, it makes you wonder also, like, what is the team gonna think about this, you know? Because they must have heard Giorno talking on the phone, you know? They must have heard Giorno talking on the phone about tracking the boss, so... I don't know. But it's interesting because, like, yeah, we're facing the boss, but we still have one person left in the Hitman team, you know? There's still one guy left, so... I don't know. Jeez, man. I at least like... You know, okay, I'm way more accepting of the Hitman team now, because, alright, now, this is about the halfway point of Part 5. Okay, time to get back to the main plot, which is Giorno trying to take down the boss. And on top of that, Bucharati is doing it too. It's Giorno and Bucharati trying to take down the boss. And I'm glad for that. And honestly, like, I'm sure once we're done and we look back, I think I'm going to be a lot more okay with this. Because, yeah, the Hitman team did kind of feel like a big deviation from the main plot. But it has worked out, and it is working to its advantage. That it's like, okay, we did all that, we really got to know the team and everything, and now, because of this is going to make going after the boss in the next, 19 episodes, basically. The next 19 episodes are going to be about going after the boss. While also, there is still one person left from the Hitman team. So, and man, I mean, it's crazy, too, that it's Bucharati immediately losing, like getting wharfed, basically, against the boss, because Bucharati is kind of the strongest of the 6 of them, Like, of the 6 of them, he's incredibly strong. And yeah, because, I mean, we've seen him, not only with the, the boat stand, or the one, I don't remember what it was called, but it was the one that was, sucking everybody in. But also when he took on Pesci and Prosciutto by himself and beat both of them, with, I guess, the small aid of one of the 6 bullets, But yeah, so the fact that he just got wharfed like that, like, oh, like, this ain't gonna work. Like, this would be like if Jotaro, I guess it is kind of like Jotaro when he got hit by sheer heart attack, but then he got up and he beat the ever-loving crap out of Kira, And I don't think that's about to happen here. Like, this is a way bigger threat than when Koichi got hit by Kira, When he was, like, driving his face into the ground and stuff, and then Jotaro beat the crap out of him. Like, you kind of watch that and it's like, okay, so Jotaro is still, unbeatable, and Koichi's just a wimpy little shit like we all thought. And it's like, okay, how would Josuke fare? He'd probably fare about as well, and sure enough, But this, it's like, oh, this dude just, like, completely and utterly defeated Bucharati. It's like, well, we're screwed. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Like, is there, like, there's not even, like, a comparison to Stardust Crusaders, because, like, in Stardust Crusaders, if somebody, could beat Kakyoin or Avdol or Polnareff or Joseph, like, it's like, alright, but Jotaro is that good, Jotaro is strong enough to defeat anyone, Whereas this one, it's like, I would say that, even though I guess Giorno won their fight, I would say that Giorno and Bucharati are pretty even, I wonder how old Bucharati is, too, I don't know. But hey, we got backstory. We got Bucharati backstory. Interesting backstory. That his parents got a divorce, and he never knew why. But instead of going with his mother, he stayed with his father, which is interesting. And then, yeah, after that, his father wanted him to go to a good school, so he started taking tourists. And then these 2 drug dealers were doing a drug deal on his boat, and then they wanted to kill him so that he wouldn't be a witness. Like, take your own goddamn boat. Like, what? Take your own friggin' boat. What are you doing? Then, yeah, so they tried to kill him, but it didn't work. He survived. So when they came back to finish him off, Bucharati came in and killed him. And was apparently never arrested for it either, which is interesting. I don't know, maybe he cleaned it up or something, but I don't know. Like, because, I mean, Mista's backstory was that he killed somebody, Fugo's, I don't remember if Fugo killed the guy, but he got pretty damn close, But yeah, he needed protection for himself and his father, and the only way to do that was to get into the Passione, and sure enough, he did. And again, it's another one of those, you know, well, I don't know. I was going to say, like, this is another, similar to Narancia, where, you know, Narancia's backstory doesn't inform why he has a fucking plane, you know? Bucciarati's is kind of similar, where it's like, okay, well, this doesn't really inform why he has Zipperman, whereas Abbacchio, Fugo, Mista, they all do. Giorno to an extent does. I mean, Giorno more when you think about Dio and Jonathan, so that's an entirely different thing, you know? And that's if you think about Dio and Jonathan, because honestly, I really forget about the Joestars nowadays, you know? But anyway, but honestly, one thing I will say that sort of informs Zipperman is when he came out of hiding and hit the guy, you know? Because that is a classic Bucciarati move, is he hides until, you know, his enemy gets in range and then he hits them, you know? That's his whole thing. We've seen him do that many, many times. We saw him do it here against the boss. But yeah, so that honestly somewhat informs Zipperman, or at least his use of Zipperman, you know? So I like that. Yeah, he killed both of those guys to protect his dad. But even when he got the protection from the Passione, he realized that the Passione, the mafiosos, are peddling drugs, and these are the things he hates. This is why he has this deep hatred for these drugs, is because of what happened to his father, you know? And that was when he realized he had to take down the boss and reform the Familia, and it was hard to get that opportunity. But now, with Giorno, he does have that opportunity. If he can survive. And yeah, well, I mean, it was a very interesting, terrifying fight. And yeah, it's a good Bucciarati fight, but still, he lost. He absolutely lost that fight. It was ridiculous. And yeah, Emperor Crimson, King Crimson, I'm gonna give it a few episodes before I try to figure out how King Crimson works. But I'm pretty sure it's something to do with time. I mean, it's Bucciarati's future self or whatever. I don't know. I'm not sure how it works, but you know what? We'll figure it out later. I hope. I don't know. But yeah. But this was crazy. This was absolutely crazy. And hey, we met the boss. We still don't know his name or what he looks like, so there's that. Yeah. So that's terrifying. Anyway, let's see what happens next time. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist for all of my JoJo's Bizarre Adventure reactions, as well as another video that you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.